Hi everyone, so today we're going to learn about the color wheel. So I need you to get a piece of paper, just any cheap piece of paper, and a pencil. So if you need to pause the video, please pause the video and go get that. All right, so you're going to take notes right along with me today, and we're going to go through the color wheel. So if you haven't already taken the color wheel quiz, you're going to do that now. So what you're going to do is on your piece of paper, you're going to take your pencil and you're going to make a circle and you're going to put all the colors on the color wheel. And I know you probably have already heard of the color wheel. You've probably already done fun things with the color wheel in other art classes. But the question is, can you name every single color wheel or color on the color wheel in order correctly? I don't know if you can do that. I know you know what the color wheel is, but can you name every color correctly in order? So if you haven't taken the color wheel test, please pause the video. A lot of you already took it at the beginning of the class with me. So wait a second and pause the video if you haven't done that. All right, so now we're going to start with our notes. So if you took the color wheel test on this side, just turn your paper over and do the other side. I want you to label the top of your paper. You should always have a title, so it should just simply say color wheel. All right, so that's the title of your notes that you're going to be taking. Now, there are some tricks, and if you know these tricks, you're going to be able to do the color wheel really easily. And I don't know if you're ever going to impress someone, but you'll be able to whip out the color wheel correctly at any time if you just remember these couple things. So basically, the number 12. So write the number 12 on the left side of your paper because there are 12 colors on the color wheel. So you keep dividing the colors and splitting them and adding them together until you get 12. So that's pretty easy. Also, the next thing you need to know are the primary colors, okay? So if you were stranded on an island and you had to get off and the only way an airplane was going to see you was if you were going to make a huge sign and put it on the beach to be seen from the airplane, all right? So you'd have to go around the island and get 3 primary colors, and then you can mix the rest, okay? So the primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. Most of you probably already knew that, all right? So if that's all we would need to make the biggest, most colorful sign in the whole world so that someone could find you on that island. So maybe we'd get yellow from some sort of flower, red from some sort of blood, a blue from some sort of berry, and we can mix them together and make different types of paint and make that sign. So we're going to start with that. So the trick is, remember, all you have to remember is the number 12 and the 3 primary colors, and you can make the color wheel, all right? I always like to start with yellow, okay? And I always give myself a little triangle here just so I have 3 points, 1, 2, 3 for the 3 primary colors, okay? So I have yellow. Over here, I'm going to put red, and over here I'm going to put blue. Now, if you put the blue on the top, would it be fine? Yeah, it would be fine. It's just the color wheels, a lot of color wheels that I've seen, they start with yellow. So I just started with yellow as well. So we have these, we're done. But we need 12 colors, and right now we only have 3. So we're going to pretend that we have some paint next to us, and we're going to make the other colors. So if we had some paint, we'd take a little bit of yellow and a tiny little bit of blue, and we'd mix it together right in the middle right here. Okay, and I'm hoping you guys know what that's going to be. It's going to be green. Okay, then we're going to take a little bit of red paint and a little bit of blue paint, a little dab and a little dab, and we're going to put it together here. We're going to get violet. A lot of you call it purple, which is not wrong. It's just on the color wheel, they say violet. And then we're going to take a little dab of yellow paint, a little dab of blue paint, and we're going to mix it together right here. And you're going to get orange. Okay, now these colors are called secondary colors because they come second. That makes sense, right? So on your paper here, I just want you to write down secondary. Okay, so we have green, violet, and orange. That was easy. Okay. So I know I need 12 colors to be done. And right now I only have 6 colors. So that tells me I have to combine colors together again until I get to 12. All right. So primary colors come first. That's why they're named primary, because they're the most important primary. Secondaries come second, obviously because they come second. Now this next word that we're going to do is the hardest word, but it's the easiest colors to name, okay? So the next thing I want you to write down is intermediate. Okay, we don't usually use the word intermediate in our vocabulary, so that's why it's kind of hard for us to remember, but they're the easiest colors to mix on the color wheel, okay? So if I take a little dab of yellow paint and put it here, and a little dab of green paint, and I put it here, I'm going to get yellow-green. It's so easy, okay, to come up with this name. If I take a little dab of green paint, a little dab of blue, and I put it right here, I'm going to get blue-green. See how easy it is to come up with these intermediate colors? All right. A little bit of blue and a little bit of violet, and I'm going to come up with blue-violet. So I think you guys are catching on. Now here's where people make a mistake. They say, oh, I just take these 2 colors, put them together, and then write the word. Yes, but because blue is primary and violet is secondary, you can never write down violet blue. It always has to have the most important one first. So you always have to say blue violet. You'll get it wrong if you say violet blue or green blue. You'll get it wrong because blue is more important because it's primary. All right, so come over here and take a little bit of red paint, put it here, a little bit of violet paint, put it here, and you're going to get red, violet. All right, a little bit of orange paint, a little bit of red paint, and you're going to get red, orange. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to take a little bit of yellow paint, stick it here, a little bit of orange paint, stick it there. We're going to get yellow, orange. So now if you count all your colors on your color wheel, you have 12 colors. All right, so that's how easy it is. If you can just remember the 3 primary colors, you're good to go. And just remember, you keep mixing them together until you get 12 colors. The hardest part about this is this word right here, intermediate. Intermediate, intermediate, intermediate. It's the only hard thing. Everything else is pretty easy to figure out. Primary come first, secondary come second, intermediate come last. All right, now I'm going to show you your actual project you're going to work on. You're going to actually do a color wheel. So you're going to get this worksheet right here, and you're going to get a palette with only 3 colors on it. Obviously just the primary colors because I want you to learn how to mix them. All right, so you're going to get yourself a little glass of water above the sink, and you're going to put it down next to your workstation. And the first thing you're going to do is color in the 3 primary colors. Pretty easy. All right, so you just come over here, fill it in, yellow, but look, right above yellow is another yellow, so you can just fill that in while you're at it. A little bit of red, right above is another red, so I'm going to fill that in. A little bit of blue, right above the blue is another blue, so I'm going to fill that in. Okay, good. So primary colors, check, done, easy, right? So now we know to get to our secondary colors, we needed a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red, and we mix them together and we get orange. So on here, you're going to take a little bit of yellow, scoop it, put it right here, a little bit of red, put it right here, and that's going to be your orange. And then you're going to scoop that orange up, put it in here, but then look, it goes up here, so you just fill that one in as well. Okay, from the same orange that you just mixed, you have to do yellow orange. So you're just going to keep that same orange, get more yellow, put it in there. Voila, that one's going to be done. So then over here, you might need to mix a new orange. Mix a new orange, put it in here, but this says red orange. So you're just going to add a little bit more red, put it in there, and put it in. Okay, so that's how you're going to do this color wheel. So you'll do the same for the other sides. Down here, pretty easy. Primary colors, okay? Secondary colors. Warm colors and cool colors are what we haven't talked about. What I think you understand what they are. If I were to look at the color wheel, now the color wheel on this worksheet for you guys is, it didn't print out exactly. So you can look at the front of the room to look at this nice big color wheel that doesn't really fit into my camera. but maybe I can use this one right here. So I always like to start with the yellow at the top. So warm colors are hot colors, like fire, right? So if you can remember warm and hot, you're going to remember which side is what. So if I'm looking at this, I would say right here, these are all the hot colors. Depending how much yellow is in this green, I might not even put it over on the warm, but if it had a whole bunch of yellow in it, then I would say that was a warm color. A cool colors you think of for winter, okay? Actually, you know, when I did this, I could have probably went like this, to tell you the truth, and this could have been a warm color, okay? Depending on how much red it was in there or blue. And now I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to find what I would do for my cool colors. Remember, cool colors for winter and cold, okay? So this is the cold color side of the color wheel. And this is the hot, the warm color side of the color wheel. So if you look on your worksheet, put the warm colors here, cool colors here. Analogous colors are my favorite. I love analogous colors. Analogous colors are 3 or 4 colors that are right next to each other in the color wheel, and they always look really beautiful. So here you go right here. So these are the colors right here on the color wheel. I love colors that are right next to each other. They always seem to match so nicely. So those are analogous colors. Here's another set over here. Okay, so basically 3 to 4 colors that are right next to each other in the color wheel. That's what you put here. Complementary colors. Complementary colors are fabulous if you ever needed to pick 2 colors that look nice next to each other. Complementary colors are exactly straight across from each other in the color wheel. So no matter what you do, they're right across from each other. So yellow and purple are always one of my favorites, okay? Christmas colors, we have red and green. Those are complementary colors, and for Christmas colors they purposely did that because they look nice next to each other. Orange and blue, a lot of fast food restaurants use orange and blue if you pay attention. So those are beautiful colors. Now these colors are supposed to already be scientifically proven to be really beautiful next to each other when you use them. So those are the complementary colors. So you're going to come here and put the complementary colors on the color wheel. All right, so once this is all done, make sure your name is on it, make sure it is in your folder, and you are good to go. Remember, on the back side, there is more explanations of what I went over. The only thing I didn't go over with you guys are these 3 vocabulary words here. So a tint, if you're being fancy and you're using fancy art vocabulary words, is a color that has been, white has been added to it. A tone is a color that black has been added to it, right? And a shade is when you use the complementary color, okay? So if I'm using green and I put some red in it, I'm going to get a shade, okay? Everything else, monochromatic, mono means 1. So you're just going to have 1 color that you do value scales with. Complementary, you know that. Analogous, we already went through that. Chromatic colors means there's no color. It's just gray and white. All right. Good luck. Have fun.